Okay. Yep, we're recording. Okay, awesome. So thank you so much to everyone for jumping on tonight. We are so honored and so blessed. And first of all, Happy New Year, because this is our first team call in 2019. So thank you so much for your time, for your energy, and for your presence tonight. So I ask that you give Bobby all the respect in the world. We are so grateful that he has taken time out. It's 12:30 a.m. We've just found out over in Canada. So, oh my God, massive love and gratitude to Bobby for doing this for us, for showing up tonight. He's an absolutely phenomenal human. He is a numerology expert. For anyone that doesn't know about Bobby, he's a big part of our freedom team. He has helped so many people within the group, leaders, including myself, to really align and really take our businesses to another level, and align our names, align us so that when we're showing up in life and showing up on social media, our presence is drawing in exactly sort of what we're wanting to create and what we're wanting to achieve. So Bobby has an absolutely amazing talent for doing that. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from him tonight. He also is building a kick-ass energetic business as well. So I believe he's pretty much a 6A in this business. So not only has he got this phenomenal numerology, incredible aura and energy going about him, he actually has a massive knowledge of our business. He's building an empire himself. And so we are so blessed and honored to have you tonight, Bobby. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave it to you. We've got people still flooding in, which is awesome. And for anyone that is watching the recording, we will be distributing this out to our entire group as well. A few did send their apologies. They couldn't make it, but they're itching for this recording. So over to you.
Wow, I'm super overwhelmed right now. Look at all this. Like, you guys are like so beautiful. I appreciate all of you guys. I can connect to everybody's energy here. Inside of the chart, I can feel the gratitude, and I can feel that feeling of like, I want to do this business, and I want to be successful. So why am I dealing with these blocks? I made such a huge investment with this machine. I want to be profitable and wealthy like the best of them. And so why can't I get over my own shadow? Why can't I get over my limiting beliefs? Those blocks that hold me down, that tell me I'm not good enough, or that I'm not worthy, or that I don't know what to say, or that nobody cares about what I have to say. Like, I can feel that. I'm pulling that from everybody's, and I've been in this business for 5 years, guys. So I've seen my leaders grow. I've seen people promise me they would do stuff and never show up, and people non-assuming to go and become really big leaders in our organization. Is there a rhyme or reason? I'd like to think that if you take it seriously, you're going to invest in personal development. You're going to show up and do the calls and do the readings and invest in coaching. And even if it takes you to a more spiritual area like numerology, weird, right? Like, anyone skeptical out there being like, what is this? I'm totally with you. I get it. Balaj, the Enagic business, it led me to numerology. He had the type of name that no matter what he would do would always come to a crash. That feeling of wanting to have business and wanting to create wealth, but then not being able to solidify it long-term into a self-perpetuating motion. So he ended up finding, it was at a weird spiritual expo, this person with a bunch of numbers on a whiteboard, and numerology was introduced to him. It was recorded. We saw this video, and I was sitting there watching this person tell us about the most intimate details of his life. And here I am knowing this guy since we were kids. And I'm sitting there watching this like, is someone playing a joke on me here? Like, how does she see this inside of his name? And it caught our attention. She put a W in his name, and since then he's been soaring. He has not crashed. It's consistently growing in purpose. It found me, and it rearranged a lethal addiction, a really self-loathing self-relationship, a powerful service to others, but self-sabotage to the self, where I wasn't letting anybody know about the depression of my being single, me going into my 30s, not having a family, and this feeling of just not being happy in life or in business, my business growing slowly. But to other people, I wanted to show up and help and do something. So it was mismatched. The name that I got in the process, the technology got a chance to work on me. It turned a lot of things around. 2018, I have not had a job. We cracked into the almost multiple, between 6 figures and above. And I gave birth to my son. My wife gave birth to our son. I was just there to support, you know what I mean? And so I had a family. I moved into a new home. I had a chance to build the leagues and the legions of the people around you guys. If you guys have had your session with me and you're here, I would love it and just appreciate so much for my own ego to have you write a comment or a small little paragraph. Tell us about the people here who haven't spent some time with me, about what our time looked like and what empowerment it gave you to learn about what you had, and to think that I'm going to put it in a light where one person's lazy is another person's meditation. One person's lack of structure is another person's ambition. Maybe they just want to go off and try a bunch of different things. Just because we don't know how to read the books or do the go lives or do the things properly doesn't mean there's not a space for you to build an authentic business that's going to really promote that. The reality is, does it say business? Does it say business? This is where numerology really kicks in. That feeling of, do the tools in your box help you to move towards the success that you want? So what I'm going to do, I want to do this with you guys, because a lot of people here have never had this session done. So we're going to do a group session. This is like a mini session where you're going to read your own numbers. So I'm going to teach you what the number definitions are and where it shows up. And you get a chance to see, okay, 1, was I born in January? Was I born on the 1st? Was I born in 1990? Was I born in 1981? And you get a chance to place the number in your own chart and see if any of these characteristics have anything to do with you. So when we take a look at a chart, if you're like, well, how the hell do I do this? The hard way, which would really, I'm going to share it to you anyway, is to write your name out and to actually add it up. So or to your birthday, you would add out your birthday to 1 digit. You could just go to a website, tokenrock.com, and it's like this. It goes tokenrock.com/numerology, and it's like a calculator. You just add it in there, and it shares with you what number you are. So we're going to go through a few of them. Sophia says she's a 1. So I assume that the month, the day, the year adds up together to create a number 1 eventually. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the numbers in there. There is a recording. So if you do want to do this as an example for yourself, the way that I write it out is going to look like this. It's going to have 3 numbers. The first number is going to be the month that I'm born. The next number is going to be the day that I'm born. So June 28, 1984. So when I add it all together, I'm going to get 6 is 1, 28, 2 plus 8 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So it's a single digit. And then 1984 turns into 22, 22 turns into 4. So I have this line of numbers. And if you just do this on the website, then don't worry if you're confused. You just put the number in there and it shows. As a matter of fact, we'll just quickly do it. Okay, I'm just going to quickly share with you guys what that looks like. And then that way you guys get a chance to actually see what I'm talking about. So tokenrock.com, yay, cool. And then we're going to add someone's life path. So what was it in the chat? Susie put the 16 of the 3rd. So we're going to go March 16, and then the year is 1963. So I put 1963 in there. And I do this because I'm lazy, because I don't want to count it myself. Life path 11, lo and behold. Pretty cool, right? Because I take my birthday, June 28, 1984. And where am I? Right there. Hey, look at that. I'm a life path 11 too. So nice to, connect with Susie, to feel like, hey, it's one of my angel buddies. So we have the same life path. And so when I get cool things like this, like double numbers, I pay attention to stuff like that. So if you're going to go onto the website and sort of figure that out, get your life path number, follow along. If you really want to interrupt me, go for it in the chat, and I'll definitely try to help you guys out. But I'm getting numbers here. So you're going to get a chance to see. Some have number 1s and 2s and 3s, and we're about to go through them. These are building blocks. I'm going to introduce to you guys a color. Like this is like a new rainbow, a whole new set of words and vibrations and definitions that help us put a human psyche together. This is so powerful. The entire universe works on this. This thing is insane. So what I'm going to do first is talk about the number 1s. So if you're a number 1, the vibration of this is going to be leadership, independence, confidence. I don't care what the other person thinks. I'm going to be out there on my own, doing my own thing. I want to do what's right for myself. This shows up in a birthday. Names also hold numbers as well, guys. So just in case you feel like, hey, that's totally me, but it's not anywhere in your birthday, it's because it's probably somewhere in your name. So when we take a look at the number 1, these people want to show up front. They want to have a good sense of themselves. They want to definitely have people to follow them, and they want to be in control and be in charge. When they get upset, the best thing for them to do is to go off on their own. So inside of relationships, they need to be in control, or they're going to be like, fine. And they just want to say, I don't need this anyway, and just going to go off into their own direction. I have sisters born in January. It's a powerful feeling inside of that number to think, you don't want to tell these women what to do. And as well, so my cousin's born in October. They're a bit more like headstrong, and it's a powerful feeling to be born under a 1 vibration. I have it inside of my day. So if we look at my chart, I see it inside of the 28. So I get a chance to actually see that number in the middle of my life, not at the beginning of it. So absolutely, I'm going to take charge and do what I got to do. Not going to be too successful working in a job because I want to be in control. I want to be the boss. So I have the mark of leadership. Then we get to the number 2. The number 2 shows up as the partnership. We're taking the concept of self through a degree of ego. So energy, the sense of self, awareness, consciousness, expresses through these numbers. Super spiritual, right? The 1 shows up as a value of sense of self. I am presence. How does this make me feel? Whereas the 2, guess what? Shows up as the partner, the one to work with someone else. The coach, the mentor, the best friend, the super loyal, born in February, or myself, Life Path 11 is also a 2, like Susie as well, wants to do their work with other people. There's a really big reason why we want to join a business that says, hey, there's community here. Sure, I've tried things in the past, but there was never a sense of family. That's what really gets me in this group of people, is that I feel like we're here together. So that number 2 will show up with a value of that inside of your business, your life, the feeling of you wanting to sacrifice for the other, make them feel good. This is a 2. Good at conversation, diplomatic, absolutely wants everybody to win. This is 2s showing up in your guys' life. What about the 3? The 3 gets a chance to show up as a number of joy and a number of like love and creativity. This feeling now inside of a 3, if you're born in March or you have a 3 in your chart, shows up like, I don't want to get older. I don't want to talk about aging. I want to enjoy and have this joyful energy to my chart that will make me very sweet and very lovable and very pretty. And that feeling of the 3 wants to connect at a very sweetheart level. So it's going to be good with kids. It's going to want to connect with other people at a very social level. So don't be afraid to build a pretty looking business or like an artistic looking Instagram. The 3s in your chart, when you see them, show up for the fun. And quick little bonus training for you guys, 2019 is a 3 year. So when you get a chance to actually be in an entire year that says, let's have fun, let's take everything serious and long-term and big, and let's just put that on the side for a second and recognize that your success is like based on the amount of fun that you're going to have. So taking things too seriously or going too hard may be a bit of a counterproductive move other than building your brand and going to the events and having a social feel where you're sharing your life like it's a piece of art on the inside of the world. For some people, that'll be tough because it'll be like, well, shit, I got to have control over things. I got to know what the right plan is and all of that stuff. I make sense of that for people when we work together. All I'm saying is that this is a time for, us to actually enjoy what we're doing. So there's going to be a lot of like, hey, I got to this new rank and I don't even know how it happened. Like, I didn't plan this. The magic took on us. That's what a 3 will do. So I'm excited. This year, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be so much fun because I get a chance to just like help people find the joy in the business, which is going to be magnetic, guys. People are going to be like, you look good. You feel good. There's fun around here. What are you doing? Like, that's what interests me. And the business takes care of itself. I just had a session with one of my clients, and she had an overload of 3s. And she's like, Bobby, what do? I'm a 5A. I'm not doing anything. My team is growing. And, like, I'm not even getting serious. Like, and I'm like, you know how many people would wish to have your problem right now? Like, just have fun. Don't worry about getting serious. Ride that because this is the year you're in. And you're just in a very serendipitous moment because she had the 3s present in her chart. So in case that sounds like you, you're in for a really powerful surprise if you can just let go and let the fun drive you. Powerful indicator that if you're not having fun, get out, okay? Or switch it up, change direction, do something else. That's a small little cool bonus training for you guys. It's going to be a powerful year. And here you are, showing up at the beginning, be like, oh, first call of the year, man, I'm just excited. This is going to be powerful. This is it. This is my year. Everyone's on that New Year's resolution high, whether you want to admit it or not. I'm getting in here. It's the reason why I'm doing this right now. It's like, as soon as I'm available, there's a powerful momentum that people want to launch their business. It was about a year ago when I started talking to Serena. The feeling of a year ago, I started talking to Sarah and Vaughn. And look what's happened, guys. Look what's happened a year ago when I was talking to people like Clint. And like, I've known him since we were in the beginning of our business. He aligns, and suddenly these guys took off. So I hope the same for you. But let's not forget, we're building a business. So this is where the 4 comes in. Because the 4 is like, yeah, fun in the sun, social, super fun. Let's get to work. Show me the real data. Show me the real, I want the process. I want the structure. I want to know how we're building this. Show me the instruction manual. I want to see all the details. The 4s are our logical people, the skeptical ones, born in April, the hardworking ones that say, I'm going to actually work this out. Don't need no numerology, spiritual this and that. There's a place for the practical nature of someone to be very fine. The 3 is all about dancing and singing and joining. How did you make that? The 4 is going to be like, this is how I show my work. I'm a math teacher. I'm absolutely going to be powerful with the numbers. These are the guys who are back office wizards. And they're going to praise the system to think there's structure for people who want to take order. They want to take instructions. They can follow something like this, and it makes you feel safe. Could have been a little bit longer to get into the business just because you wanted to measure it out a little bit and learn it for yourself and digest it one piece by one piece. So those are the 4s, the logical, practical thinkers. The leadership now shows up. The money now shows up. The hard work now shows up. So it's a gift and a curse. Because 4s in your chart, loyal to the job. Oh, I don't know, how am I supposed to leave my position? And then the attack of the 4. These types of businesses aren't for people like me. Or I'm stuck with my limiting belief, or like, I have to work hard in order to be successful. Whereas the larger versions of wealth are going to teach us about magnetism and feeling like I say it once and the world will know. And like while I sleep, more people keep seeing the same message. Whereas the 4 is kind of like door-to-door sales. It's like you have to do the same pitch every single time against a new audience. It's very laborious. So it can take a lot longer to get to success. It's a hidden little gift and a curse inside of someone's chart to think, hey, he's going to have some discipline. He's probably going to be a little bit hard on himself too. That's the 4 for you guys, okay? What about 5s? Born in May. Any 5s? These are our warriors. So we just took a look at the farmers, the builders, and the workers, engineers. Now we have the adventurers, the nomads, the people who want to just be free, the travelers, the warriors. These are the passion. So there's ambition in here. When we get these types of numbers, we see people who are like gung-ho, they're excited, they're ready to take on challenges, figure stuff out later, let's just do this. I want to have a laptop lifestyle, freedom team, that feeling of me controlling my success and being there for people. The problem is we're there for people more. For ourselves, the 5s will start to fight. I used to have a -5 in myself. You know what -5 looks like when it fights itself and doesn't show anyone else? A lethal addiction to drugs that nobody knows about. And I'm just off there by myself, getting high, not hurting anyone, when I'm slowly just ripping myself apart. Like, that's the negativity of a 5. Negative food habits, negative relationship, unable to stabilize, just wants to stay, or for lack of better vibration, can't stabilize. So it can be a tough run. But at the right side, they protect others. They stand up for people. They're not afraid to say, F the system. We got to do something powerful here. We've got to fight. There's a reason why this stuff is happening. We got to spread this mission or spread this voice. So it's a very social, active number that shows up. Great for traveling. Absolutely wants to just be free. If it shows up in too many places, this could be the reason why someone isn't successfully in marriage. Maybe they don't want to be. I don't want to do the kids thing because I'd like to just be a little bit more freedom with my time. So don't be afraid of that. We just want to make sure that your business can grow with the social atmosphere of saying freedom is the name of the game. Unlock yourself. So your frame of conversation should start to migrate towards these numbers that you have. When you have or showing up with of a story and it's not quite matching the power in what your numbers want to say, it's a mismatch. Maybe you got the most epic story, but the name you're using for your business page doesn't actually have anything to do with business or trust or partnership or relationship. It is dealing with a bunch of fives that says people are going to argue with you, or they're going to say, hey, let me join your business. And then suddenly they're going to disappear and block you. You're not going to be able to search them. The feeling of like, why aren't things connecting shows up when numbers don't actually fit. This is where we get to the sincerely powerful, oh man, sorry, there's some stuff here that I'm missing here. So 7's here, cool, natural born leader. I got the 5, I'm a 4, sweet. Now I know to wait for your call, absolutely. My birthday's on the 28th too, awesome. When birthdays are on the 28th, they get out of 1, we find ourselves somewhere through life. We're like, that's it, I'm gonna step into my role as leader. So born on the 1st, born on the 10th, the 28th, these things happen. The 9th, so we got 6s, 7s, 9s. Cool. So now we're starting to see some of the bigger numbers because I'm about to introduce the 6. These numbers now are just sort of coming through here. Master 22, nice one. That's going to be a little bit tough to run. So mastery numbers are a little bit more difficult to approach, but we're going to talk about the 6. I can't hear anything. Oh, no. Can we make sure Leslie can get some audio help? If anyone else can hear me, I'm good, but it could just be that audio is not connected. What about this? So we're going to take a look about the number 6. I thought it was a master, but I'm coming up a 4. So what's the birthday? Let's take a look at the actual birthday and let's just calculate it because sometimes it shows up that way. And while I'm waiting for the answer here, what we'll do is we're just going to put my site. Okay, if you guys want to book in with me, then what we'll do is we're going to open this up for you guys. So anyone who wants to is more than welcome to. And yeah, what we'll do is if you book an hour with me, you're going to get a second session. You can use this to gift to someone, or you can use this as like a follow-up in 3 to 6 months, or you can extend your session. It's only be a small 15-minute extra session. It's valued at $90 US. So if you book in an hour with me while we're live, I'm going to read out your name as I get them. And then that way you just let me know, hey, Bobby, I booked. And absolutely, I'm going to give you guys an extra session, okay? I also just want to let you know I am putting together a group. So what we could do, and I do want to have this because I can take about 30 people max inside of this, is that it'll be a group where you all get aligned. You all get a personal training to your numbers specific to you, very similar to what we're doing, but you'll also get reports. And it's like a complete package for you to launch your business. It'll take about 3 hours though. So like 2.5. I like to say I'm going to keep it to 2 to 2.5 hours, but the one that we did for Sarah's team, it took a little bit longer. So I've got 2 more lined up. One for Craig Hoy and the other one's for Tammy Hume. Tammy's team is so organized. They started paying me before they even told me that they were doing the call. And I was sitting there getting all these like PayPals. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And like, I didn't even know, but that's how organized these guys are. She's worked with me about 4 times. She's a little anal about the particulars of her business. So I understand why she was doing that. So back to the topic, we're going to talk about the 6. This is the value that I always try to go with. My name has this. I'm born in June. The value of the 6 is balance. This is where adulthood and maturity, parenthood, awareness, self-awareness, ability to help others create wealth in their life, to create love in their life, long-term relationship, the balance of communication, hard work, spirituality. It's the heart center. This is the most valuable for family, the most valuable for everything you could possibly need without giving up on anything that you would want to. It works perfect with every number as long as the numbers are balanced and not inappropriately put together. If they are, you guys with the 6s, hard on yourselves, down on yourselves, we get sad, we feel like we're not doing the right thing, that we're not worthy of success, that we don't deserve it, good things don't happen to us, and we don't give ourselves the self-love that we truly need. This one is a really tough conversation because it affects a lot of people to think, how can I make everything outside be looking so good while I'm sacrificing myself in the process? This is where that number happens. If you're unlucky to have it into a -6, this can show up as a negative ability to, or an inability to see how powerful you are, or even to take compliments, take praise, or take love, or take everything that you feel like you deserve. because you're not giving it to yourself. And the universe doesn't work that way. You have to actually give yourself what you need in order for the universe to give you what you want. So we've got it really twisted where we're just serving other people and we don't serve ourselves. That's a really big problem. So when people tell me, oh, I can't afford it or this and that, I'm like, I'll do the work right now and you can pay me later. I'll give you guys a payment arrangement because that shouldn't be an excuse. Put yourself first for once. Even if you can't afford it, leverage it, borrow it, whatever we do it everywhere anyway, and we spend it on negative stuff anyway. But don't let that be the reason why we're not investing in you. This is the most powerful thing you can do for yourselves, guys, because no matter what training, your birthday is stuck with you. Your name is yours. Whether you change it through marriage or not, you are who you are. So when I get a chance to do this with you, it is such a very sacred trust. But this 6 is one of the most powerful numbers that I give to people. The next one, actually 6, 7, and 8 are numbers that I actually have in my name. So these are the powerhouse. If we're working up our way up the street, 1, 2, and 3, we're at the kids level. 4, 5, and 6, we're showing up at the adult level. And then the 7, 8, and 9 is where things start to get really, really powerful. The 7 shows up as a meditative number. This is for when we have people born in July or have a pesky 7 in their name. They're trying to find the right words, but they just can't seem to communicate it. They just can't seem to let it out. There's a problem with being heard, or I'm not standing up for myself, or I'm not saying what's on my mind, or I'm thinking it, but when it comes out, it just doesn't quite communicate the way I want it to, and then it runs away to the side, or I feel like I can't do a live, or I'm scared of that, or like I don't know what I would say, or that feeling wants to think and have things happen to you as opposed to us doing things out for others. So it can be a difficult place to be trapped under because it's like the smartest tool in the shed that never gets a chance to come out and be used. So when we look at 7s, they have to be like powerfully connected inside of another number to balance themselves out. But the 7s are more about the power of questions. You guys don't need to say a lot. It's all about the, wow, really? So then what happened? And that feeling of gaining information. 7s are really good at having people confide in them. So when we see that number show up, don't make it so difficult. Just craft the story, let it be out there, and watch people start to come to you. You're going to have to be more critical of creating boundaries about your time because the 7 can get caught without it. It's very intuitive. 7s out here are mind readers. They know what people are thinking. So don't be afraid to use that when you're in conversations with people, to be present for them and to say, just lead them through it so that they can come to their own. The people inside of 7s, the people inside of their business are selling themselves. And the 7s are just showing up being like, well, here it is. And it's not forceful the way that communication is, where it wants to sell you an idea. The 7 is just like, well, why do you think this is good for you? You just like assume the sale and not let the person qualify themselves. So 7s are a powerful number for intuition. I hold it on the inside of my name because I'm a very spiritual guy. But the 8 is going to be the power number for wealth. This is the magnetism towards wealth. Now, let's say like somebody like Susan. She's like, yeah, I'm an 8. What's up? Let's put these people out here. These are our natural born entrepreneurs, the natural born ringleaders, the people who want to create a magnetism towards wealth. The energy is moving. The 1 is very at the base, but at the 8 level, it's at the high level of intellect now. We're thinking about the brain. We're not feeling in the heart. We're thinking what's the most profitable move from the level of vision, from the level of magnetism. So the law of attraction is going to be a very powerful mechanism that handles inside of the life path. The most tragic thing that can happen is to have 8 in the chart and not have any ingredients to actualize on it. Hyper level of intelligence, going to be disconnected from the self, unable to motivate themselves or others, and can get just really scratchy towards the self, where the self doesn't even matter because we're just too identified with the fact that things aren't happening. And then that's the self-perpetuating energy because you are what you think. And to get caught in a dead loop is like the worst thing to see. It's like, it's crazy. Over this last year, I've been getting pretty crazy at this stuff. And I just got a chance to read my uncle's numbers. And I looked at his chart and I'm like, ouch. Like to see him at this age, and I never knew that there was a very powerful level of intelligence. I looked at him like he disassociated from himself and he didn't actualize on his numbers. And I looked at his name That kind of chokes me out to actually think about it. But like, I looked at his name and I'm like, well, put an H in your name. And I was just like, I know it sounds weird, right? I'm like the young kid giving my uncle advice. Just put an H in your name. People pay me to do this. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but just, you try to tell your uncle something. They're like, shut up. You can't tell me anything. And then I'm like, well, I'm building a business on this side that's he wanted to learn, but I was looking at it being like, you should balance this out and do something to this, lest it take advantage and hold of our life, whatever we have left of it. And like, he's in the third part of his life and beyond now. So it's a feeling of like, what could have been? And that's why I love it when I get a chance to work with young people or parents and they want to take an interest in aligning their kids' names, or even when I get a chance to talk to expecting parents and we get to name the baby together, or like, that is a wonderful honor. But the 8 is a law of magnetism through your speech, not through your hands, not through the ability to like go out there and work hard. It's the working smart. It's like, what do I say to the right person to have them do the thing so that they can go build their organization and my money works for me now. That's the transition between the 4 and the 6, saying I work for money, I generate it for my family, to the point where it's saying my assets generate me wealth. My organization creates profitability for me. It's no longer about income or wage or time-based salary. It's about generation of profitability and wealth and organization and enterprise and industry and global, and the feeling of creating solutions. The 8 thinks like a boss. So if any of you guys are born in August or have the 8, tough go being a kid, trying to listen to what your parents are telling you, and you're like, no. I want more time before bed. Or like my little girl is just like, but why? And she just doesn't listen to me, and she just keeps saying what she's saying, and I'm like, stop. Why am I trying to reason with a 6-year-old again? Like, I don't, like, trying to argue with her. It's like, she's just so stubborn. These 8s are like, what? They want what they want, and that's basically what it is. So, like, it's very, okay, so we will look at, like, I guess people here, it won't go past the provide information page. You may have to copy this into a browser. If you just tap on it, sometimes the page doesn't load up. So what you want to do is copy the website into a private, another browser. How much is it? I do different sessions. So if there are like a couples in there, there's like $333 for a couple session. And yeah, my eldest is 8, and she's a life path 8. And it's just so challenging. But at least, and I asked her things like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And she's like, I want to buy Toys R Us. It's like a toys department store. So I'm like, that's my girl. See, she wants to be in business. And she knows the value of creating wealth. And she's only 6. So I'm like, okay, at least you get points for that. But learn to listen to daddy, okay? Like, daddy's the boss right now. Just relax. So that's the feeling of being a parent. If you have small kids, my heart goes out to you. But this is where we get to the maturity size of the numbers. The 9 now, okay, so we have the master of wealth here. The 9 shows up as the master of love. This can be an energetically overwhelming feeling to have, because the 9 is the complete selfless. The 1 was the I am, and the 9 shows up as the we are, or I am one, or we are one. The feeling of all things contained in every single thing. It's the inability to separate from another. So imagine how this thing shows up to someone's emotions when they're seeing someone hurt, or they're born in September and they just want to help people, or born in, like, what is it, 1989 or 1976, I don't know, whatever, 1962. The feeling shows up that I want to go out there and do something for the world and help it somehow. Because on the opposite end, the feeling of the self can get trapped under the emotional wear and tear of having such a range. Very depressed, very alone, disassociated from the self. These are cosmic people that can almost live in other timelines. So when we have a lot of them show up, we're seeing, for me, a very personal intuition, this feeling of like multiple lives, or like a soul path, moving into like the stretching of your story over the ability of having kids and grandkids and parents and grandparents all sort of like coming together as a soul family, because it's identified with the whole, not just itself. So it speaks for a larger run. And this is where we start getting in things like mastery. Born in November on the 11th or the 29th. This is for us. I'm a life path 11, where it shows up like we're supposed to be here to do something for the world. Like, look at what I'm doing. Like the feeling of like, I learned this weird, cool little thing and I'm teaching it to people, and we're becoming the most successful teams, and the business is crazy, and they'll feel like we found the secret key, the missing ingredient. That feeling is powerful. that I'm supposed to be here to coach like a 2, partner up like a 2, but divine on a spiritual information like an 11. That feeling of a mastery soul or a mastery life path that says, I'm going to go through some extra level of BS before I get to my level of power, which is going to take a little bit longer to get there, but it's going to inspire a lot more people and help people shine light in dark places. This is what 11s do. We carry our own little pocket of light, like crafted out of the darkness of our experiences. So it's like we show up with diamonds and we earn them, okay? So that's a powerful feeling. If you've got something like that inside of your chart, then my heart absolutely goes out to you, but it also happens in names. These numbers show up in your names. So if you're like, shoot, that sounds like me, it's probably because your names are working. Now, I don't have a site for calculating names, but there is an app. There are apps. I don't know for Apple, but for Android, there are numerology calculator apps where you can put your name in and actually see what numbers are showing up. So you can use this as a little bit of a legend to think that you can align things very rudimentally. I would absolutely suggest you do not change your name on your own advice, please. But, just run it by me or a secret professional. Your life path and your name is a really big deal, okay? What you call yourself and what you do business as means something. So we get a chance to look at numbers like 11, then master 22s. They're afflicted by 2 things, the spiritual calling to get things done, and then the logical mindset of the 4 to say, let's just stay on the ground and work hard. Clint was born on the 22nd of a 22 year. He's in it. He's found it. He had to create a large level of infrastructure and something that went the distance. This is what he's done. And it shows up as a very powerful feeling because July doesn't say very much. It's just like looking, meditating, waiting, sort of figuring it out. But in the second part of his life says, all right, now I'm ready to build something huge and follow that intuition, follow that feeling of spiritual connection. If he was born in April, I'm not sure if he would have found it. I'm not sure if he would have cultivated that level of intuition that you need on that number. When I put the letter in his name, suddenly it was like striking a match and forgetting that I was around a bunch of fireworks and be like, oh shit. And then everything just like exploded all at once. And here we are a year later. And it's like, I can't help but be booked out by weeks in advance. Like I've been forced and pushed to create more structure and more stability around my language. And I teach people how to do this. I come with group sessions now. And the feeling is I'd love to work with you guys one-on-one. But in case that's a little bit out of reach for people, we'll put together a special group of people that want to get aligned. It'll be like 2.5 to 3 hours long. I'm sorry, I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But the reality is that everybody gets aligned up and you all get a chance to learn from each other, answer any questions you guys may have. But yeah, very, very powerful. So is there any questions at all that I can go into? I'm just going to, if you want to drop them in the chat, or if you guys want to just unmute yourselves, you can. So Casey's saying that there's a session booked and paid for the 11th. So what we'll do is you can let me know if through Messenger if you want to save your small session, if you want to gift it to someone else, or we can extend your session right then and there. Totally up to you. How much is it again? 15 minutes is $88. This is US. So for a group session to get a massive power value will be only 111. Then 30 minutes is 156 and 60 minutes is 268. And power couples absolutely would suggest the 333, but I get it. It's expensive. I understand. You're worth investing in it. I get results and I know exactly what I'm doing. So you can trust that I know how sacred this is. I'm not just throwing stuff around. This is a very powerful spiritual contract for you. And I absolutely would love to be able to share with you. If you can't pay for it, I will give you a payment plan. So whatever it is you guys need to make it work, absolutely. If you're feeling called to it, that's the thing that you have to figure out. My eldest is 8. My second has 8 in her name too. Help, Royson. What I would suggest is you learn it very powerful how to negotiate, and you treat these guys as if they're little CEOs, and they're very, very powerful decision makers, and they can get what they want. So you basically have to really empower that, as opposed to power struggle and trying to own up and take rank and belittle yourself will only alienate them further. But that's advice for me too, thinking about my daughter as well. Let's see here. Brand page adds to a 7. Your brand pages, if your business adds to a 7, it's not going anywhere. I'm just going to be straight. The number that has no communication or business in it, it's all spiritual. So there could be value that you bring to it, but we're looking to line up your business name so that before someone even reads it or reads your ad, they're already feeling the vibe. They're already starting to collect around the vibration for you. So Janelle says, but my life path is 6. So there's going to be a solid level of balance in there. We'd love to be a part of the group alignment. What I'll get you guys to do is, I guess, create a group chat and just invite me in it. And everyone who's in there, I'll just throw in a PayPal link to make sure we can do it. And that would be, that's my goal is to actually do that for you guys. I do offer private one-on-ones, but I would love to have a group session for you guys. Would be my absolute dream. And if anybody wants to work one-on-one, absolutely they can. So use a payment's been fixed, and I've been waiting 4 weeks now for it to be fixed. Yeah, honestly, like, let's do it. It'll get fixed. You'll find the money. It'll work itself out. I would rather get this done for you and put you into money making. Who cares about the payments? Make some money in a magic, then you can pay me back. I'm good for it. I know you are. If you don't pay me, the universe will. I know what I'm giving to the world, and I know how I'm overextending myself. It's because I'm supposed to do this right now. So I'm fulfilling my soul's passion by helping you guys create wealth in yours. This is taking your kids around the world. This is getting your husbands and your wives back home, being able to live the lifestyle of your dreams. Guys, it's worth it. And it's on the other side of all those beliefs and blocks that we have. I like to think that we can craft a map and a plan for you that will actually take you forward. So I think I'll need to create a new fan page. Don't worry about it. Honestly, creating a new fan page can seem like you're getting your teeth pulled. It's not a big deal, okay? You just get used to it. You get good at it. And absolutely, if you can't change your name, a new one's not a bad idea. So grateful. Thank you. Okay, is a 9 better? A 9 is, okay, like, let's put it this way. Every one of these numbers has powerful for success. But if you want success, you better speak the language of that number. So we're talking about 9, and we're talking about someone who loves and cares and the master of love and this ability of having an over range of emotion. Your success probably wants to have some level of impact and not a level of, oh my God, let's make big money. Let's talk about this big business. They're really like, I'm kind of wanting to see a vibe of a humanitarian here, someone who wants to help change someone's life and have that conversation. Whereas the 8 could be afraid to be like, yo, we're gonna make multiple 5 figures in a month. Like, what you down for? Like, let's put you in and let's make sure you know that this is a big game business. It'll be a lot easier to have that conversation with an 8 in your name or an 8 in the page, but absolutely crazy. So what did I miss with name numbers? That is a tricky game. That one, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. So there's a whole alphabet available there, and you have to combine from like vowels and then consonants, and then you add them together. So when you get this shape, you get a chance to see what it looks like on the outside, what it feels like on the inside. Are they compatible? Do they work to a 6? Do they work to an 8? Those are your target numbers. So for any of you basement numerologists out there who are like, man, I'm just going to lie my own name, I caution you how dangerous that can be. I'll give you superstar. One's math superstar, the other one's basketball superstar. Do you think that they're both going to be able to be successful in each other's realm? That's not how it works. We take the time to learn about how powerful and unique your story is, and that at least I can say, this is the name I would suggest for you, because it takes what you have. And I've been doing this for about 4.5 years now. So take it for what it is. But how can I organize a payment plan to book with you? So Sophia, give me a message afterwards. What we'll do is I just send a smaller payment link for PayPal. So if that is the way to do it. If you don't have it, then we'll have to work on getting that. What about the initial thing? Did I miss something around that? Imagine your name is a 5, and it's like the last thing you want for a number for wealth. Spends money, bad money after bad dollar after bad, doesn't have a saving habit, just 5, adventurous, wants to go and spend things, and why not? And who cares? And you only live once, and credit cards are calling you. The 5 doesn't have the ability to, inspire long-term wealth. Let's just face it. In the beginning, it does, the ambition side, but not on all of the parts. So we would add 3 numbers to get to 8. We would add 1 number to get to 6. 5 plus what equals 6? 5 plus what equals 8? So when you get a chance to make that choice to take it from a 5 to an 8, what 3 number is going to take it? Is it going to be the letter C? Is it going to be one of the other letters in the alphabet that add up to a 3? What will that do? Will it change this position? Will it change that position? Guys, this is intricate as designing a custom fit car. So it's a very powerful feel. And look, if Kate's like, well, I am a 5, how are you supposed to line up your birthday? Like, how are you supposed to put a name? Like, you can't change your birthday. You can put a name that says, I got to pay attention to the ambition. I got to pay attention to my freedom attitude, my lifestyle that wants to be adventurous, because otherwise this business isn't going to work. I can't have the pencil pushing, dot my T's, cross my I's, and what the hell am I doing? That feeling of I don't know what's going on and I want to have more fun. That's in a name as well. So we can still use those numbers. They just have to be delicately placed. But yeah, it's a really powerful feeling. Ida's here. Ida, man, you're honey, you're just such a wonderful power. Honestly, like I watched this woman she was just super innocent and just ready to do this. And next thing you know, this thing just exploded. And it was a very powerful feeling to see you. You remember some of these guys, and it's a wonderful feeling to see you now. It's just so super cool. Even with Serena. And not to say that it was because of me, but I like to think that I was there to help you guys craft your outfits for business. And my life path is one that says I want to connect with others. So Serena, sorry, you're help me out here.
Yeah. No, I was just about to. I was going to unmute and just add something. So anyone that is watching this, absolutely. So this time, 12 months ago, as you guys know, I one of the first things that I did was that I booked a numerology session with Bobby, and I was all over the shop at that point. Like I was stressed and I was just like everywhere. And Bobby just really mapped out for me, I guess. Not only did he align my name, which I swear the moment he did that, and the moment I changed it on Facebook and I started to post, check out my engagement on my post 12 months ago to today. My engagement has 10x, okay, on every post, and I have become this magnet on social media. And yes, I've worked on my energy and vibration, as you guys know, but a lot of it was triggered by Bobby. And not only, Bobby obviously gave me my life path, but what the great thing with this is that there are so many other numbers within your name. So yes, you can calculate your life path, but he can actually tell you the other master numbers that work for you as well. So you get this overview of where your strengths are, etc. And, I really listened to that and I really took it on board. And you guys know, for 5 years I was in network marketing and nothing happened for me. I didn't do any of this stuff. I didn't know Bobby then, and I didn't get a name alignment, and I was out of alignment for those 5 years. And then all of a sudden I step into this space, yes, we have the most incredible vehicle, but, now that I look back, Bobby started me off on the right foot. And as you guys know, I've now gone on to create multiple 6 figures, in this time. And it really has happened with ease and flow. It has not been struggle. It has not been hustle. And it has just flowed and happened. And so I'm so super grateful to you, Bobby, because, I truly do believe that you were a massive part in that. And I've always felt that, intuitively. And so I highly recommend, for anyone on this call, look, even the group, I'm more than happy to help you guys out with the group session as well. So, between Bobby and I, we can make it happen for you. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so if you don't mind, just make a group chat for people who want to be in the group. And that's a commitment that let's actually get this done. And I would love to hold the training before the end of the month for you guys, if that's cool. I'm not sure if you guys are doing a contest in this month or a run or a race or whatever it's looking like. Yeah. I had a group session. So let's just quickly talk to a few of my leaders here. And mind frame all of you new guys that to think this is you in 6 months. You get your alignment, you start working in ease and flow, you get a team, suddenly you're faced with a new problem. Okay, so now I gotta be a leader, I gotta help these people build teams of their own, I'm in the next level, I'm in the adulthood, past the puberty of business, now I'm actually out there like reproducing leaders. So the feeling is inside of this, okay? So you having a group session, you get a chance to connect this information very personally and very deep to your team. All of them get lined up. All of them work forward and move forward in power in business and empower themselves and get a chance to find out what's really making them tick. And you get a chance to watch your business become hands-free. You also get a chance to see where's your leadership, where are your coaches, where are the fun ones, where's the people that are going to keep order. You have the people who want to be your administrative assistants and the ones who want to keep detail. Where are the ones who want to go off into their own direction? How do I support my family members, or the quiet ones who sit in the back and still are here to create a dollar? And where are my magnets at? Where are the people who have a global vision? For you as a leader to take inventory on your roster and your team and to actually help them move forward, the group session is powerful. For me, it helps quite a bit. If you can imagine putting 30 people in a room together, all for a 3-hour session or a 2.5-hour session, getting everyone like lined up, like we're like doing like a full like assembly line alignment. Sarah Price had it. I'm gonna get a there is a link, and I'll just post it in here so that you guys can see this, because what I want to do is I want to share with you the results. Okay, so this was an idea inspired at the end of last year, and when I got a chance to actually like put this together, who was it that had it? It was just gonna see if I can find this person. Okay, so what I did was I put this together. Now there are some links in here, and this is basically how it works. So what we do is this is basically something that people would get. Can I do it? Let's see. Copy, and then let's see if I can paste. No, it won't let me paste. Okay, too bad. How about just a little bit? The replay. This is for anyone who's curious to see, well, what actually happens in there. Yeah, this one will work. And so this is what actually happened inside of their group. So a little bit of stuff to watch. I mean, if you want to go in and see actually what happens, I asked their permission. They all said, okay, sure, you can use it. And it basically was a very intimate feeling of knowing and understanding each other and creating a feeling of knowing who I was and where I wanted to go in this business. Talking back to 19, there's a powerful new momentum taking you guys forward, that this could be a really huge sweep of an explosive, expansive move towards profitability inside of your organization. Top leaders are going to be paying attention, being like, shit, son, that's pretty cool. Because unfortunately, guys, I just had a baby kid. I've got 3 other kids at home. There's a very demanding situation that's happening around my business. My prices are continuing to rise. I'm going through a rebranding. And at a certain point, within like 3 to 6 months, my entire platform is changing. I want to sweep everybody in and create the powerful move into the new generation. We have a year to have fun. 2020, where I'm really looking, is the reality where all of you 6As now suddenly start implementing your own systems, your own teams, your own families. It's going to be nuts. But the road to 6A this year is going to be through enjoyment, pleasure, social, fun. And I'm sitting here looking at this being like, whoa, I set up. I'm here. I'm ready to help people. So we're going to have a lot of fun making this happen. And if you guys are getting that goosebumps or the chills, or that, man, you're not alone. I absolutely know what's going to happen here. And I can feel it. I can feel that hope, the feeling of you guys being like, could this really be it? Is this really my shot? Can I actually do this? I can feel it. I'm not afraid. I'm going to make it happen. And those are things that I'm being projected onto me when people trust and we want to share our success with each other. So, of course, inside of our private sessions, people get singled out. So we will show up as examples. We get a chance to share that and to really grow through with it. So yeah, it's no more than 30 in one session. If there's more and all 62 of you people want to come in there, then we'll have to just do it in 2. But I would be absolutely honored to do that. Anyone else want to ask any questions? Susan's comment about 8. Let's see here. How do I kick my -8 side to the curb? I would say that there is like a very fine distinction between the law of attraction being a spiritual concept and it being like a physics. So when I got all these 8s in your chart, you got to get sharp about what you think about and what thoughts are going to be letting out. You have to absolutely make sure that you do not let any of these leaky, self-defeating thoughts. So how do you do that? You read the book, you put it on the audio, you do the journaling, you take the sticky notes, you put them up there, you take discipline in your day, you put your schedule together, you put your gratitudes, you connect on resources, you look at the training, you go to the calls, you take notes, you take this serious as a business operator would. And at that point, we're like, oh shit, well, that's the problem I'm in the first place, as I can't take myself seriously. And the reality is I get it, because the -8 is taking us down. So take what's easy. Put the thing on a speaker in the background. Put a book in every room. Do something with sticky notes or with alarms or setting your calendar once that you get to see as a reminder over and over again. The fact of journaling really helps us out. Going into meditation for 10 minutes, everything you can do to throw at this builds on itself. And the name that magnetizes it towards that effect is all the greater. So that's kind of one of the most powerful things I can say. Well, let's make it positive. If it's a -8, we should line that thing up, because the -8s lead to addictions, disassociations, feelings of I can't make things happen, and like, forget it, screw these things, I can't do this. And it really takes a lot from us. So absolutely, very powerful. So yes, interested in the group, 6A, come on, Cara, let's do this. This is the year to do it. Love it, love it, love it. 7-figure plus, absolutely. Like, you're just gonna go, oh man, like it's just too much. You're such a gorgeous soul, you're energy electric and contagious. Sharon, I appreciate that. Laser focus for 2019, guys. This is gonna be super powerful. Honestly, I absolutely, I believe in you guys. I know the leadership. You guys are avatars of Serena and her vision of business. There's a reason why you guys are crushers, and there's a reason why you guys all came together. So if you guys want to do it, if you have any other questions, I'd love to. I don't know how long you guys want to go for, but do you teach what you do? I'm into numerology, however, this is next level. Absolutely. Yeah, I hold it. I do the private sessions a little bit more expensive, but I do groups as well. So if you guys want to put max of 10 people in that group, but absolutely, it's like a 4-day course. And we sit and I teach you the entire language, top to bottom, how to explain and all of this stuff. And I help people to charge for this. I can't be the only one, guys. I cannot be the only one to do this. There's been a group, a handful inside of Freedom Team and Gaz who have learned this, and I no longer get their business because they know what they're doing for their teams and beyond, and they're monetizing it. So if I can help you create a very powerful flow of wealth in your life with this information, please come and knock me up. I absolutely will make sure that I will do that for sure. Looking forward to my session, Vivian, for sure. Did you get it booked? Did you guys do it? If your child is a number 1, what would you add? See, the thing is that I want them, if they're a number 1 life path, I want to level their name out to express leadership, because we're not changing their birthday. They're a natural born leader. They have to have a good, strong, solid sense of self. So a good self-love routine, or a good feeling of independence, or a good, solid sense of what I want to do. It would really depend on what month they're showing up, what day as well, and also what their name set is, because the names are like 30 numbers. It gets crazy. I'll just show you guys what it looks like. If you guys want to take a look and see what my life looks like, basically, it looks like this. So this is what a group session looks like, okay? I'm right now preparing sessions for Tammy's team and for Craig's group as well. This was the one we did for price. Everyone had messy names. They were all in the red, and then we basically leveled them all out, and I put options for what letters they could take, and I explained what different vibrations. The purple numbers would show up as values of mastery. The blues would be something of a bit more of a pace, whereas the greens would be a bit more of a passion. So you get a chance to figure out which is going to be the best move to align the business name. This is what it's going to happen for you guys in a group session. In a private session, we do this. We take a look and we see, maybe if I scroll up, we see what's actually happened here. Perfect example. Christy comes and sees me on her like I think it was just right after her birthday. And we get a chance to see, okay, first name, middle name, last name. How does this look? What does this say about her? What's the power inside of this chart? What letter do we want to take? She's about to take Morgan. She got married, right? So there's a powerful feeling inside of that says, what does this thing need to look like? This is different than something like this, where we just take a snapshot. Where were you? What are you? Where are you going? And does it work? So the difference between this would be private attention. But guys, that's the long and the short of it. Quick question before a call. It says I'm a 4. However, that doesn't match at all. What do I do or change? Your names. Again, really, it goes so much further into this than just a life path. It wants to show up as names and vibrations within it. It's a very intricate feeling of I call it spiritual diagnostics. We're taking the vibrations that show up in your numbers and creating a story around you. So it's a very, very wonderful feeling. Yes, it was booked in, had to wait for it to refresh. Sweet. So Vivian, if you don't mind, just to message me and let me know, do you want to extend it? Do you want to gift it? Are you going to save it? How you want to use your extra session, okay? So it's a very, very powerful feel. If anyone else is booked in, let me know. This is only live. So you guys have a choice to do this now. And if you basically do it while the call ends, I'm going to take it. But basically, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I really appreciate coming on, being installed as a coach and as a mentor inside your guys' business. You can absolutely count on me. You can trust me. Okay, Natasha would like to book. So if in case you guys want to, if you're having some issues, you can call me and let me know. Just message me. But this is my site. Ida, absolutely you need to do a group session. You're gonna be there being like, okay, I can put my players on the ice. I know as a coach, as a leader, where my dog's at, where my power people at, where my eagles at. That feeling wants to know for sure. I'm honestly is fascinated. For me, I saw this and I was like, wow, my whole scope on reality completely changed. And I was just like, what are we? Like, man, this is so weird, dude. Like, what are we? This is crazy. And that feeling is like, I don't even understand it anymore. It's like so mystical to think that we show up as like a computer program and like everything's already destined. Are we like a simulation running backwards? Like it almost feels like there's something more grand to this design that can only be mastered by looking into the face of a flower for like 2 hours nonstop and start laughing. And that feeling of understanding God, it's a really weird understanding to think that we've stumbled across something. So it's with so much honor and sacred respect that I share this with you guys. But it's like 1:35 in the morning. I'm like, I'm not sure. Anybody has any questions? With my session, I had a question. I chose white instead of a letter. I haven't seen that before. Should I have asked why on our call? But I didn't think about it then. As long as it all adds up, it works. If we put, let me just take a look, because I know we just did carrots. So we're going to just quickly go back in. And let's take a look and see. So I put here, yeah, see when I lined this up for you, I suggested Cara White Purse House. Okay, so that was the one that I wanted. You got a chance to use an actual word instead of just the letter. So the same effect, but in your case, much more authentic because you actually have a name. It couldn't have just been W. It had to be the actual word white. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. Thank you, Serena, so much for sharing, like, letting me share this and build your business with you. You do me such a huge honor. And I'm like, you guys are like, you give me so much purpose in my life and you're helping me create a legacy. So I really appreciate that. You have no idea whether it is that you want me to teach you privately, whether it's going to be like you put me together for a group event. I will come out for a week and we'll do a full immersion for a week. It'll be so powerful. It could only take so many people into a huge party house. I'd love to do it. And just to get there, it will be a very, very powerful event for sure. But that's in the mix in the future. In the meantime, get your group alignment done or book your private session. Get together in a group chat and then enter me into it. And we'll organize a date and a time. A very, very powerful feeling. Anybody else want to say anything? I'm grateful for you. Absolutely, Casey. Absolutely cannot wait. Thank you. Serena, anything else?
Oh, no, that's amazing. Look, and as I said, just so much gratitude to you. You've transformed, my life, my business, everything has just excelled massively. And like I said, I'm about to, expand and go into the next level version of me, and the 7 figures for this year. And, I'm going to align that with yourself. So that's, how incredible Bobby is. So for anyone on here, anyone that wants to be part of the group, please throw it in the pod. And I will, or any leaders, please message me with a list and I will create a group and we'll get that happening for everybody. And yeah, just massive gratitude to you, Bobby. Your energy is incredible. Your passion, like everything you do, your work you do in the world is amazing. And like you said, it's just going to repay you tenfold. So we're so super grateful for you. And thank you for tonight. 1:35 in the morning, you're an absolute freaking legend and an absolute weapon, and you're still buzzing off the walls at that time. So I love that, because that's why I'm drawn to you, because I'm the same. My energy and vibration is just off the charts, and I'm always so full of energy and any time of the day. So thank you so much. We will let you go. We honor and value your time and respect that. So bless you. And thank you so much. I'll pop you in those groups, and thank you everyone for your time tonight. Have an amazing evening. And so much love to you, Bobby. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, have a good night. Take care. See you guys later.
Bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks, guys. Good night.